He was named the most promising fast bowler in the entire Caribbean before he'd even played a single test match. Then, his body, his own cricket board, and a $42 million international dispute all seemed determined to end his career before it truly began. This is the real story of Jerome Taylor, the West Indies fast bowler who spent 13 years fighting to hold on to a career that kept trying to slip away from him. Jerome Everton Taylor was born on June 22, 1984, in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica, a parish more known for its farmland and fishing villages than for producing international cricketers. But Taylor had a gift few young bowlers in the Caribbean could match: genuine, natural pace, and the ability to move the ball away from the bat in a way that reminded scouts of a young Michael Holding. That kind of comparison follows a player around for the rest of their career, for better or worse, and in Taylor's case, it was both. Standing over 6 feet tall with a smooth, repeatable action, he had exactly the kind of physical profile that West Indies selectors had spent decades searching for: a genuine fast bowler who could trouble even the best batsman in the world on his day. His rise through domestic cricket was fast. In the 2003 Carib Beer Series, Jamaica's premier domestic competition at the time, an 18-year-old Taylor picked up 21 wickets in just 6 matches at an average of 20, including a devastating 8 for 59 in a 5-wicket win over Trinidad and Tobago. That performance earned him the title of most promising fast bowler in the entire tournament, and it was enough to get him fast-tracked straight into the senior West Indies squad, skipping most of the usual waiting period young Caribbean cricketers go through on their way to the international game. His international debut, though, was about as rough as a debut can get, playing against Sri Lanka in 2003, still just 18 years old, and arriving on the international stage less than 2 months after West Indies had pulled off their legendary chase of 418 against Australia in Antigua. Taylor struggled badly, finishing the series with an average of 97 for his 2 wickets. It's the kind of start that ends a lot of young bowlers' international careers before they've even had a chance to develop. Making things worse, a back injury sidelined him from competitive cricket not long after, the first in what would become a recurring theme throughout his entire career. He came back in 2006 against India, a changed bowler, taking a career-best 9 for 95 on a difficult Kingston pitch, immediately reminding selectors why they'd been excited about him in the first place. 2 years later, in 2008, he produced arguably his most memorable all-round performance, smashing a rapid test century off just over a run a ball, batting at number 8 against New Zealand, a genuinely rare feat for a specialist fast bowler. That year, he was named Jamaica's Cricketer of the Year, a real high point after years of fighting just to stay fit enough to play. But injuries kept finding him. Between 2010 and 2014, Taylor managed only around a dozen white ball internationals for the West Indies, almost entirely due to fitness problems. And at one point, the West Indies board publicly questioned his commitment to the team, a criticism that stung a player who'd spent years fighting just to stay fit enough to represent his country. It's a familiar story in fast bowling, where a body built for generating serious pace often breaks down faster than a body built for anything else. And Taylor's career became defined by exactly that tension. Flashes of real brilliance interrupted again and again by his body simply refusing to cooperate. Coaches and teammates who worked closely with him during this stretch often pointed out that on his good days, Taylor still looked like one of the most dangerous fast bowlers in the Caribbean. The problem was never talent. It was staying healthy long enough to prove it consistently. Just when it looked like Taylor might have finally worked his way back into a settled place in the West Indies squad, a completely different kind of storm hit, one that had nothing to do with his fitness and everything to do with money. In October 2014, the West Indies were midway through a tour of India, a 5-match ODI series with a T20 international and 3 test matches still to come. Tensions had been building for months between the players and the West Indies Cricket Board over a new pay agreement. with one-day captain Dwayne Bravo publicly accusing the players' union of accepting a deal that amounted to a significant pay cut without properly consulting the squad. After the fourth ODI in Dharamsala, with the series still live, the players made the extraordinary decision to walk away from the tour entirely, abandoning the remaining matches altogether. Teammate Darren Sammy summed up the mood with a now-famous tweet, simply writing, "Honey, I'm coming home." Bravo himself admitted afterward that the entire tour had been tough for the squad, but insisted the players had stuck together through it. The fallout was immediate and enormous. India's cricket board accused West Indies of abandoning the tour with almost no warning and demanded $42 million in damages and compensation for the disruption. India suspended future tours against the West Indies entirely, and cricket boards around the world watched a diplomatic crisis unfold in real time, all triggered by a pay dispute that had been simmering for years. A task force set up afterward to investigate the mess spread the blame across almost everyone involved: the board, the players' union, and the players themselves. And it recommended a complete overhaul of how West Indies contracts were handled going forward, including clearer guidelines on when contracts needed to be finalized before a tour even began. For a fast bowler like Taylor, who'd already spent years fighting just to stay on the field physically, this added an entirely new layer of instability to an already turbulent career. Playing for the West Indies during this period meant dealing with constant uncertainty, not just about your own fitness, but about whether the team itself would even complete its scheduled tours, whether your pay was secure, and whether the administration running the sport actually had your best interests in mind. It's a very different kind of pressure than facing a fast bowler at the other end, and it's one that doesn't show up in any box score. Somehow, through all of it, Taylor kept fighting his way back. He remained part of the wider West Indies setup through the middle of the decade, and in 2016, he was part of the squad that won the ICC World 2020, one of the most celebrated achievements in West Indies cricket history, and a rare moment of pure joy for a program that had spent years dealing with exactly the kind of chaos that engulfed the India tour. For a player whose career had been defined by setbacks, being part of a genuine world championship team was a real, hard-earned high point. Even after his Test career wound down, with his final Test appearance coming against Australia in January 2016, Taylor kept playing. He built a genuinely impressive second act in county cricket in England, joining Leicestershire, then Sussex, then Somerset, where he helped the team reach finals day in the T20 Blast in 2018 thanks to 22 wickets in just 11 matches. In 2020, at 35 years old, he signed a 3-year deal with Gloucestershire, with the club's head coach specifically praising the pace and international experience he could still bring to the attack, more than 17 years after his rocky international debut. He also picked up stints in franchise T20 cricket along the way, including a short IPL spell with Mumbai Indians in 2016, brought in as a direct replacement for the injured Lasith Malinga. By the time his playing days wound down, Taylor had taken 130 Test wickets in 46 matches, 128 ODI wickets in 90 matches, and over 300 first-class wickets for Jamaica alone across his domestic career. Numbers that reflect genuine, sustained quality across a career that never once had the luxury of stability. It's worth being honest about one thing here. Unlike a lot of retired international cricketers, there's no reliable public estimate anywhere of Jerome Taylor's current net worth. He never built the kind of visible business empire, endorsement portfolio, or luxury lifestyle that a lot of his more high-profile Caribbean teammates did. What he built instead was something a little less flashy, but arguably just as impressive. A genuinely long, resilient career stretched out across county cricket, domestic Caribbean cricket, and international duty, held together almost entirely by persistence rather than good fortune. That's really the heart of Jerome Taylor's story. He wasn't the flashiest fast bowler to come out of the Caribbean, and he never became a global superstar the way some of his teammates did. But few cricketers of his generation had to fight through as much just to keep playing the sport they loved. A body that kept breaking down at the worst possible moments. A bored relationship that boiled over into an international incident. And years spent proving, over and over again, that he still belonged on the field. 13 years after that rough debut against Sri Lanka, Jerome Taylor was still out there, still taking wickets, still fighting for a place in a lineup, because that's exactly what he'd been doing his entire career. If you found Jerome Taylor's story of persistence as compelling as we did, let us know in the comments which West Indies cricketer you think fought the hardest to hold onto their career. And subscribe for more true stories from the world of cricket.